Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Layla, and as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about living alone / loneliness. And this video was actually requested by someone, so I figured I would give my opinion and tidbit on this. I'm going to talk about this like in two different scenarios, or two ways basically. So one, living alone and how I do it financially, and then feeling lonely. So those are the two big topics here. Just to be clear, I am in a relationship. I am not single. However, I live alone and I don't talk to my boyfriend too much. We talk on the phone maybe 30 minutes a day at the most, to be honest, and then I see him on the weekends. This is the first time that I have ever lived alone. Before this, I lived with my sister and her boyfriend. Before that, it was just me and my sister, and then obviously I lived with my dad and my sister and stepmom, and then I lived in dorm rooms halfway through college, which I always had roommates. So this is the first time I've completely been on my own. It's definitely a bigger change for me, and I have felt feelings of loneliness because that's just, you know, something that comes with it. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the finance side of it. So I made sure that I could handle this apartment on my own. Obviously, you should be making what I think is like 3 times more than what the rent is going to be at the minimum. Whatever the rent is times 3, you should be making that. That was kind of how I went into it. I did go a little bit more than I budgeted, like $100 more than I was expecting, but it works out for me. As I've lived here, I have continued to save my money. So I had an emergency fund before. It was a smaller one, but I have grown that emergency fund just in case. So like if I lose my job, or if, you know, whatever could happen. So if I need to pay for something, that shouldn't happen in an apartment, but I do have a larger emergency fund that I've built up over the past few months that I've been here, and I'm continuing to build up in case I need to have rent for the next month or the next month, whatever. So that is another thing that's really important. And with that comes like budgeting and controlling your spending, being responsible with your finances, just typical adult things, and something that is going to be a lot bigger when you're living alone and nobody's paying your rent for you or helping you out. So I obviously work on increasing my income. So through YouTube, through blogging, through all these things that I tried to do, I work on increasing my income. I sold a lot of stuff, which gives like more of a cushion, just makes me feel more comfortable. But yeah, that's really all I have to say in regards to finances. Like, it's not that difficult for me at least, to budget and all that. I do talk about finances on my blog if you're interested in that, and I'll link down to that category in the description box. But yeah, that's really the main points that I have if you're gonna live on your own. Now, in regards to feeling lonely, like I said, I do have a boyfriend. I'm not single, so I do have somebody to talk about things with. You know, if I really need to, or if I want to see him, then I can go out of my way to do that, and then I see him on the weekends. Thankfully, I also have a family to call if I need to, or to see. When I first moved in is when I felt the loneliest, but that's kind of faded away, I guess. I am very secure with being alone, and I kind of like my space. I like my who I am. Like, I like to be around myself, I guess. So I think that's something that you just kind of develop in your personality as time goes on. What I kind of do is just look on the bright side of things. Like, I can do everything that I want to do on my own time. Like, I don't have to answer to anybody in my apartment. I can clean when I want to. I keep it clean, but it's like there's nobody else in the apartment to annoy with something potentially, you know. I can decorate it how I want to. It's organized how I want it to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very me. And if you had a roommate, or if you were living with somebody like a significant other, then you have to like kind of consider their opinion. So that is a major plus, to be honest. And, you know, just the privacy, I guess. Like, you can go to the bathroom and it's, you know, like, you get your privacy. You can leave the door open if you want to. I can shower with the door open. Like, it's not a big deal. There is one main thing that I want to say about being alone, if you're single or not, but especially if you're single, and this is something that I think is really helpful and should hopefully inspire you, or like give you a kick in the butt that you may need. So as a single person, or just as somebody who is feeling really lonely, I don't think it's a good idea to do things that are going to put you in a negative headspace or just in a negative energy, you know? So this would be things like binge eating, sitting on your couch and just binge watching Netflix and eating ice cream and feeling pity for yourself, or oversleeping, or if you are really messy and just like have all these bad habits, like your surroundings are negative energy. I think that is so important to avoid. And something that is so helpful with feeling lonely, and what you should definitely do if you feel alone or you just got through a breakup, is focus on yourself and do something completely new. As an individual, I think it's really important to have something for yourself, and something that excites you just as an individual. So for example, when you're in a relationship, you may tend to gravitate toward that person, like you just are so interested in what they're doing, or you only want to do stuff with them, or you're just so consumed in their affection or what they're doing just in general. And that is not going to help you, because if you either break up with that person, or if you end up being alone at some point or another, or if you are living alone, then that's going to be a problem, because you just need to be with that person, or you need their comfort. One of the best things that you can do is do stuff for yourself. So you should take advantage of this time. Like, being single or living alone should be when you are kicking ass in whatever it is that you're going after. So like, set some big ass goals. Maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you want to get super in shape, start going to the gym, start eating healthy, start an online business. Like, you can focus in distraction free, basically, because you are alone. Like, take advantage of this time to implement those things into your life and just go at it 100%. And it gives you something for yourself to look forward to every day, to have when you come home. And I just think that's so exciting. Like, if you watch my after work routine, like, I do that on purpose. And yeah, I could spend all night on FaceTime with my boyfriend or talking to my boyfriend, but one, he understands that one of my priorities is my businesses, and like, that is something that I have to do for myself, because I want to do this and I want to grow my businesses, and I want to work out for myself. I want to provide for myself. So I purposefully dedicate my free time to my personal development, to my businesses, to being healthier. And that kind of just is my life, you know? Like, I come home and I'm alone, but I do these things that are really satisfying for me, and I'm fine. I don't know, I think that should be like the biggest thing. There's not much else to say beside that. Like, you can literally do whatever you want and change your life completely within a month, within a couple months, whatever. And that's pretty amazing. So it's like, take advantage of this time, stop the self-pity, stop feeling negative, like, have your time of feeling down or whatever it is, feeling lonely, but take advantage of it and just like kick ass in whatever it is you really want to accomplish. And of course, you should still have like your connections. I mean, I go to work and I have people that I communicate with there, and you know, that is something that I think is important. You should talk to somebody. We're made to communicate with people. So if you really need to, you know, if you have friends, obviously hang out with them, but it's like, don't be afraid to be alone and alone with your thoughts. Like, start flipping your thoughts to more positive ones. Start journaling so you understand yourself better. Start reading so you can improve your thoughts or improve whatever it is that you want to improve upon. And just like really take care of yourself. And that comes in so many aspects. You know, there's like the frilly self-care where you take a bath and put on a face mask, but that's not all that it's about. It's like doing something for yourself that truly makes you happy. And that's how like my businesses come into play. It's something I genuinely enjoy. And this is also why I like to read, and I like to keep my apartment clean, because that is a form of self-care, and that's something you should be doing, especially if you're alone, because there's nobody to keep you in check. You are all you have. So you have to take care of yourself. And I know that's like so obvious, but it's when you're feeling alone or in a low place, it's hard to think from that rational place. So of course, like if you need to talk with somebody, communicate with your family or friends, or you get a therapist if you need to. There's even like online therapists these days. So if you really need somebody, then of course talk to them. But seriously, just focus on yourself and it makes a world of a difference. And that's really all, like that's the biggest thing. That's my main tip for this video. Hopefully that makes sense. If you want me to expand on it more, then feel free to comment that down below. But loneliness isn't a bad thing, and the more that you work on yourself, the better that you are going to be, and the more you're going to attract a better person into your life, whether that be a significant other or friends. So just keep that in mind. Like, loneliness isn't bad. It can be, it'll feel lonely, but it's just a feeling. So do what you have to do to make yourself happy and just go from there. So that's really it for this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, comment that down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.